Hi, welcome to the Fight Test channel. It seems that the prayers of Alexander Usyk were answered and he will get the fight he wanted. Briton Anthony Joshua agreed to a fight with the Ukrainian after his mega fight with Tyson Fury broke down. Officially, the meeting of the Ukrainian and the Englishman has not yet been announced, despite the huge merits and a whole room of hours of Usyk in the first heavyweight. He is still perceived weakly in the weights. There are several reasons for this origin: weak promotion in the States and England, a dim style, especially in this weight. In addition, Usyk has not yet convinced in the weights. He won the average Witherspoon and the old Chisora, experiencing problems in both fights. At the same time, Usyk's skills and skill remain super high, which makes him a very understable opponent for champions. The chance of losing is back, and selling the fight will still be worse than fights even with White and Parker or Chisora, who have a powerful fan base in England. Not to mention the fight with Wilder. It doesn't matter whether he has a belt or not. Deontay with his cannon shot is a welcome guest everywhere. The famous American coach Teddy Atlas shared his opinion about the upcoming fights between the WBA, WBO, IBF World Heavyweight Champion Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. Mike Tyson said, "At the peak, I would have defeated both Fury and Joshua." Mike Tyson once seemed invincible and indestructible. He made up for the lack of anthropometry with aggression, dynamism and fighting instincts. Today, Mike believes that at the peak of his career he would have defeated both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. The fame of Iron Mike was amazing. So much so that Fury's father, John, named his son after Tyson, who was at the top at the time. Today, Tyson Fury sits on the throne of the WBC. Joshua holds 3 other titles: WBA, WBO and IBF. Both of them have better physical characteristics than Mike, which according to Tyson himself would not have made a decisive difference. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I am trying very hard and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. The famous American coach Teddy Atlas shared his opinion about the upcoming fight between the WBA, WBO, IBF World Heavyweight Champion Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. As for me, Usyk knows how to win. This is a talent. Many people outside of our sport do not understand this. They don't understand what I mean when I say that he knows how to win. But Usyk knows this. He always won. Usyk won at the Olympics in all the fights in the first heavyweight. He collected all the titles. He has a similar attitude, confidence and faith. Usyk has good legs. Yes, it is smaller and everyone is talking about it, but Holyfield wasn't too small. When he went up to heavyweight and faced the big guys, he wasn't too small. So this is a very interesting fight, very interesting. Teddy Atlas said on his podcast. Mike Tyson once seemed invincible. He made up for the lack of anthropometry with aggression, dynamism and fighting instincts. Today Tyson believes that at the peak of his career he would have defeated both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I have no doubt that if I was at the peak of my career, I would have beaten both Fury and Joshua. They are well trained and big guys. It would be difficult to fight them, but if you ask if I could have beaten them when I was in my early 20s, yes, I think I would have beaten them both. Joshua is great, he fights well, he hits hard, but my ego will always say, no one could beat you. admitted the youngest world heavyweight champion in history. Usyk for Joshua is an option from the series. Well, at least let's go with him. The British team didn't want this fight to last. They had to agree to it because first the fight with Fury broke down. He chose to box with Wilder for the third time, and then the WBC officially sanctioned Anthony's fight with the Ukrainian. As you know, Usyk is a mandatory contender for Joshua's title, so you need to either fight with him or give up the belt. The only people who are now in a state of delight are Usyk himself and his manager Alexander Usyk. They have been waiting potentially for the opportunity to contact Joshua, and now it seems that they will be rewarded. They continue to wait, even when it was possible not to do it. They were offered a duel with the English prospect Joe Joyce 2 months ago, but they decided not to waste time on it. And you guessed it, Joshua was eventually released, despite the fact that the fight has not been yet officially announced. Now this fight looks absolutely inevitable. This is already a fait accompli, says the person on whom everything depends, promoter Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing, and he thinks it will be hard for Anthony. Joshua thinks that Usyk is a good fight. He doesn't look incredible in the weights, but he will most likely get better when he gets used to the weight and division. This is a really difficult and dangerous duel. Anthony won't make fun of Usyk boxing. He's going to go out and beat him, Hearn said. By the way, about go out and beat, now it's difficult to find a person who will think that it is Usyk who will be the favorite in the fight with Joshua. All the boxers who have been asked about this so far agree that it will be a hell of a difficult evening for Alexander Usyk, for two reasons. He is too small for a heavyweight, and his boxing in this way doesn't have enough power. What's worked with guys like Krzysztof Glowatsky, Tony Bellew and even Murat Gassiev didn't really work against little Derek Chisora. What can we say about like Joshua? Dillian White, who recently knocked out Alexander Povetkin, spoke about this more vividly than others. For Usyk, this fight is murder. How did he fight in heavyweight division? Witherspoon, Chisora. He looked terrible in this fight. He doesn't have a powerful punch. Okay, he moves well, but not for heavyweight. It doesn't work the same way here as in the first heavyweight division. Terrible or not terrible Usyk in the strengths. How high are his chances against Joshua? It will be time to speculate about this somewhere in August, before the fight, but for now the conclusion can be made as follows. This will be the most difficult fight in his career, and at the same time the biggest, because with all due respect to the belts in cruiserweight, 3 world heavyweight titles are valued much higher at once. Usyk will indeed be a noticeable underdog in the fight, but now it does not seem that he is doomed to defeat. If he goes into the fight with the right attitude and plan, if he's ready to have fun and show everything he can, especially in the movement on his legs and body, then Joshua can look for his shot all 12 rounds and never find it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.